L2, convert between percents, fractions, and decimals. So let's start with the first one. We've got, how do you write 54% as a fraction? Remember that our percent sign means per 100 or out of 100. So here we have 54 out of 100. That looks simply like this, 54 out of 100. And that is our fraction. We are not required to simplify in this program, although you should always simplify. But I believe, yep, we got that one right. Awesome. Okay, so same thing, 62% as a decimal, different problem. So we've got 62% as a decimal. Now, when we convert from decimal to percent, we move the decimal. Sometimes it's hard to remember which direction, so what you can always do is 62% means 62 out of 100. We know that that's the fraction. Now, we also know that a fraction means to divide. So if you take 62 and divide it by 100, you get 0.62. So that's our decimal. There is an extra step here, but sometimes it's hard to remember to move that decimal 2 places to the left. So now we know by what we use for fractions that we can divide to get our decimal. Ta-da! Okay, let's try this one. All right, now we're moving a decimal into a percent. Again, moving the decimal, which way do we go? Do we move to the left or to the right? Okay, well, 0.8, again, we can use our understanding of fractions. 0.8 is 8 out of 10, okay, which is equal to 80, oh, that's a terrible 8, sorry, 80 out of 100, which we know is equal to 80%. So in this case, we're taking a decimal and turning it to percent. We're actually moving the decimal place over twice. We're multiplying by 100. Again, if it's hard to remember which time we move that decimal, you can always use a fraction in between. So we get 80%. Oh, don't forget your percent sign. All right. Okay. And here we go. Here's another type of problem. 6 over 10 is a percent. Some of you might be able to do this pretty quick in your head. We know that, oh, that's terrible. Okay. Oh, why is that so hard? We know that 6 out of 10 is our fraction. If we multiply, maybe I should show the multiplication here. If we want to turn this into a percent, we know we want it to say out of 100. Well, what do we multiply to get 100? 10 times 10 is 100. So we're going to multiply by 10 over 10. 6 times 10 is 60. So that gives us 60%. All right. And let's do one more for good measure. We've got 20% as a fraction. Remember, every time we have a percent, what that tells us is that number out of 100. And so we get 20 out of 100 again. They're not expecting us to simplify in this type of problem, so we get 20 out of 100. Ta-da! There we go. All right, happy converting, everybody.